Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rushdown Podcast. Today, we'll be doing a Let's Talk Dodgeball episode. Today, I have with me men's foam Team USA coach Jeremy LaPeer. How you doing today?
Doing great, Tim. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And then I also have men's cloth Team USA coach Brett Kauble. How you doing today?
Oh, fantastic. Happy to be
Awesome.
here.
Uh, Audience, I apologize. I'm a little sick, so apologies for any sniffles or anything. I'll try to mute myself as much as I can. And for the visual watchers on YouTube, I'll be going out of frame to blow my nose if I'm leaking. So I'll try my best.
So we're both doing better than that.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
All right. First question, or not really a question, but like let's kind of start with introductions. Brett, if you could introduce yourself for people that may not know you, like how long you've been coaching for, why did you become a coach, and just who you are in the dodgeball realm.
Yeah. Like I said, Brett Kauble, I started coaching, let's see, going into the Edmonton World Championships. That was 2022. Been playing for uh, 16 plus years now. Started playing in LA, moved to Kansas City, and yeah, I think I got into coaching. I always really wanted to be on Team USA, like a lot of people did, and kind of figured out where my ceiling was. And this is sort of just the way that I can contribute on the court more than throwing and catching for sure.
Sounds good. I think we need to put both y'all on the roster at least once to have you guys on the court. Just one game.
I'm in.
You're not the only one pushing for that, so it might have to happen, I guess.
You should, especially
I
during the gold
have
medal game.
I have 3 throws left in my arm.
That's all you need. And Jeremy, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy LaPeer. I'm from Michigan, but I live in LA. I've been around dodgeball since 2009. I guess I probably called it quits officially 14 years in, so a couple years ago. Um, and I think I was probably most known in the dodgeball community as a referee. That was I ref the last three UDCs before that ended, and then I ref World in 2018 in LA, ref Worlds in Cancun in 2019, and then came on board swiftly as COVID started. So um, this is my, I guess, sixth year as a scout and Team USA coach. Um, Current director of scouting, if that's the title we're going with. That's me. Current head coach of the defending world champion men's foam team. Um,
Way to slide that in.
just wanted to cite in. Why did I become a coach, Kim? Because we're sickos and we're obsessed, and we love being tortured with public critiques. In exchange for literally all of our time. So uh, I would say seriously though, it's I think as I kind of felt my playing days winding down, I felt like I had just kind of more to give to the dodgeball community at large. I had developed a kind of a pretty deep understanding of the game, having kind of had a front row seat to some high level dodgeball for a large chunk of time, and so kind of the highest level dodgeball that really existed at that time, I would say. And so I felt like and I continue to feel like I can kind of help propel the sport forward.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, you brought up a good point. We have a couple other titles. I'm also co-director of Team USA along with Kelly Salmon. And yeah, Jeremy is our director of scouting. So all the improvements that everyone's seen over the last, this whole cycle were very much absolutely him, and I had nothing to do with it. So I
Beautiful.
feel like that's important to bring up.
Awesome. And Jeremy, did you have any aspirations of making Team USA as a player?
Probably none realistically. Yeah, I think I was kind of exiting my prime. I think right as dodgeball was really getting serious here. So I think I had already kind of mentally called it quits at that point. But no, I'm still glad to be a part of the program though.
Awesome. Sweet. So kind of my first question now, kind of start with Jeremy here. We're a couple months past the North American Championships. How was that for you?
Mexico City was fantastic. Overall, really happy with our performance as a squad and ultimately all of our squads. For us specifically, we handled business. We met the challenge that was presented to us. All victories, in my opinion, should be celebrated. So, from a performance perspective, we passed the test. But, I think I was most happy with just like the camaraderie that I saw, like literally getting built before my eyes, with you guys. And I think, you guys really leaned into the experience. It always just makes it easier for the coaches. Um, I don't think any squad was as active as, our squad in terms of being on the sidelines, shagging. And those are like small actions that build culture. So super proud of, all of the guys that stepped up, to contribute any way they could. But, yeah, we were, maybe exposed a little bit, in a couple areas, but overall, we now have areas we can target for improvement. And still, overall, really proud of how it went.
Perfect. And tournament aside, how was it just being in Mexico City?
It was great. I think I only spent one night on the toilet
That's
due to
good.
all the
That's
due to all
good.
the tacos. So it kept it to single digits, so that's nice. But no, it was a great time. Lots of walkable places. We got to have several team dinners, and that's always a joy.
Super fun. Brett, how was your experience at the North American Championships?
Uh, I mean, overall good, obviously. Anytime the whole program goes 6 for 6 for golds, that's a win. Um, Hugely, obviously. The gold medal men's cloth match was way more stressful than I wanted it to be. People are like, oh, you like being close games, or like, absolutely not. Like 40-0 sounds so much better. But love the way the guys dug in on that and pulled that out because that is the kind of game that is very easy to lose if you're not mentally prepared. And so I think you could really see that part of it shown through, which was great. Kind of like Jeremy said, definitely exposed some stuff for us to work on, but that's what that tournament is for as well. Digestively, I was fine. I was so terrified that like I ate nothing that well, like I don't think I ate any vegetables the 4 days I was there because they might be washed in the water, and I was just uh scared.
Smart.
Um, I drank nothing but I think Coke and mezcal the entire weekend too. So, uh, immediately came back and just ate a giant salad, and it felt good.
Nice.
But yeah, it was really weird. This is the first time that I also went to a tournament and only coached one team. Um, and so definitely had some moments of like just let it go. Like you're not doing that. Like let them and Alfred and Steven um definitely had the mixed team like performing really well. So I did definitely have to mentally just take a step back there.
Nice. Sure, it was nice to sit back and just watch for a little bit rather than
Y-
stress.
Uh yeah, like the gold medal day was great because we were the first game too.
Oh yeah.
So after that, yeah, being able to just kind of disconnect, especially because everyone was playing so well. So that yeah, but at the same time, just almost all of the teams that played lost their first game in the gold medal day, and so yeah, the stress was there for sure until like after halftime, and then I got to just kind of veg out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all's game was super duper close, which was great
The
kickoff
most
for the tournament.
entertaining.
Yeah, great kickoff for the tournament.
Cool.
Um, Question for both of y'all. Will y'all be scouting this year? Will you guys be going to like any premier tours or any major tournaments to be scouting?
Go for it, director of scouting.
Yes, sir. I will be in Minneapolis for the foam stop. We have Brandon Renfro, Stephen Decker, and Alfred Kwan going to Tempe for the claw stop. I'll be in Minneapolis with Nina Fior and Tasha Bachman. So We will also be scouting the thing. We won't have an in-person scout there for this specific year, but we will be dedicating 3 scouts to, luckily all the courts are streamed, which is perfect. So we'll be dedicating 3 scouts to watching the streams and handling it that way.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm hoping to make it to Minnesota. I won't be in Tempe, so I won't be there in an official scouting capacity, um, but yeah, for sure, it's looking to definitely put. There's definitely potential to add a few more players on all squads after Minnesota, and then um, and then hopefully get everyone locked in. We should have our first team camp May 16, 17 weekend. So
Okay, so I'm assuming the thing is the last scouting event for the cycle.
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Question starting off with Brett. With the next couple of dodgeball tournaments that will have scouting opportunities for potential players that want to make this already established practice squads, what are some things that y'all are looking for in a player and advice you can give to these players that want to make the practice squad?
I'm sure every coach and every scout probably has a slightly different answer. Uh, Overall, there's just kind of a minimum threshold for people to make a practice squad as far as can you throw so hard? Can you catch so well? Can you move so well on the court? And um but past that, the intangibles are the things I'm always looking for, at least. I'm always looking for people who enjoy being on the court and people like being around them. Also, uh, game intelligence, especially when we're talking about 3-minute games. Um, on the cloth side, it's tiny errors that you might be able to draw out over a 20-minute half become much more magnified at that point. So knowing that people can kind of manage that is hugely important. Um, and then yeah, that we're going to spend a lot of time around each other, either at practice or at Worlds or just doing film review and stuff. So I definitely look for people I'm going to enjoy being around for uh, all that as well.
Perfect. Jeremy, some things that you were looking for in a player or advice?
Yeah, I think for me personally, it starts with like good people. Brett touched on it. Uh, you can't seriously be considered if you aren't just a decent person. I think a lot of the time, I don't have the strongest personal relationships with every player on the squad, and so some of that stuff you just find out over time, over being with them. But I kind of it starts there. Um, I'm always a fan of good fundamentals. It's kind of like the baseline start when I'm like if I'm at an open gym, if I'm looking at randoms, I'm looking for someone who's like not watching the ball every time they throw, not just standing flat-footed in the back all the time. Um, are they constantly getting caught off guard? Are they how often are they able to like identify who's throwing at them? Like those are, I guess, just kind of small things that I think hint at like skills that can be either, sharpened or learned over time. So um, I think outside of that, the third thing I would say is like versatility. The more things you do well, the more reasons you give me to play you. So I think that's always something that players should aspire to be.
Yeah, there's 2/3 of the team are not corners. So, I know everyone wants to be a corner, but most of the people on the court are not going to be having a ball in their hands the whole time. So those are, yeah, like Jeremy said, the versatility is important. And one thing I forgot to mention is also we are very highly process driven. And so people that want to fall in love with the idea of putting in the work and getting better, that is an enormous character trait that we look for. Someone they can't just think that they've already ascended to the top position or as good as they're going to get. They have to want to be better.
Nice. And sticking with you, Jeremy, kind of a little pickup for players, but any advice you give to players that don't make these practice squads or even the world's rosters and become discouraged or down themselves for not making it?
It's an excellent question. I think it's communication, I think is a big part of it. Um, I think it can be easy maybe to spiral or to like draw the wrong conclusion from feedback you're given or scores you see. So I always encourage players to just reach out directly to me if they have any questions or issues, concerns, feedback. So I think that's a big part of it. Um, I, I guess for like solid scores, the average men's foam throw of the pool, of all the players who were in the pool, was 69 miles an hour. So that would be the average. I think at a very simple level, you can start there. Where do you fall along that spectrum? For men's cloth, it was 56 miles per hour was the average. Uh, women's foam was 55, women's cloth was 44. So where you fall kind of respective to that, I think is a start. And then like in terms of advice, like, explore your resources. There are several. I mean, if you need a throwing video, there's several on YouTube. Lots of Team USA players have channels, videos, or can just be reached directly. And they'll be more than happy to share knowledge with you. So um, there is a level of resilience, toughness, like you do need to earn it to an extent. I'm happy to invest time and resources and energy into any person who's willing to also commit that sort of level, that same level into getting better. And so a lot of it is like taking your feedback, asking questions, finding out how you can improve your weaknesses, getting better, and just keep going for it. And there's certainly a handful of success stories you'd say are for people who've finally made their squad or after trying 3 times or whatever. So all that is in the cards as long as the individual is willing to put in the work.
Beautiful. Brett, do you have any advice?
Yeah, and I mean, this might sound terrible, but we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes too. We try to watch as much of every player that we're scouting as much as we possibly can, but we only get a snapshot of the overall picture when we are watching people, and we watch live, and we'll go back and watch film and try to see if our initial evaluations match up. Like, hey, this guy. I don't know, didn't move really well and was really getting picked off, and then go back and watch film and say, oh, actually, it was a bad game. And in this game, he was actually doing really well, and it looks like he, maybe was just playing up or down to competition or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we're going to make mistakes. So again, falling in love with the process. So if your mindset is I just want to be the best dodgeball player that I'm going to be, and I'm going to improve those skills as much as I possibly can. Making Team USA might be a validation of that, but at the same time, just falling in love with the idea of I'm going to just do what I can to be the best on the court that I can. And I think that's a much loftier goal than making a team.
Nice. Awesome. First, I want to say thank y'all for being coaches. I'm sure it's like a super thankless job, and I can't even imagine the time and effort you guys put into this.
Jeremy and I were on a 3-hour call about scouting Tempe last night. So
Literally yesterday. Yeah, that's
yeah.
so funny.
That's awesome. Taking 3 hours out of your day for something you guys don't get paid for.
And neither of us are going to be at Tempe. We're just,
heck yeah.
That's the best part.
Just in it for the love of the game.
Passion project.
Yeah.
I know there's been some joyous moments in this coach journey y'all been on, but there's a side that people don't really see, the backlash and negativity you guys receive. Has there been anything that you've gotten where they kind of like rubbed you the wrong way since you became a scout or a coach? Kind of like bad player feedback or possibility of hurting friendships, etc. Starting with Brett.
Not a lot, which is nice. I think maybe some of it's just people don't want to upset us because we're the ones picking the teams. But also, I've had a lot of very close friends who have tried out and not made practice squad or not made team or whatever. And um, I think I have a good enough relationship with the my closest friends, just being like, you guys know this is a job. Like I'm hired to do a job here, um, and I have to do what's best for the team. And that's definitely a conversation you have to have with your friends. I, as I get older, I have less friends that are still playing, but overall, I think the community kind of understands what we put into it, or what they think we put into it. Um, so some, but really not near as much as uh, maybe some of the other coaches have gotten, to be honest.
Nice. Jeremy?
Yeah, it's certainly possible it's all going on without our knowledge. Just the most hideous, awful things. No, I mean, yeah, it was a obvious risk when you take the role of like coaching your peers, your friends, your colleagues or whatever, that like there is like an element there, there's a risk there. Yeah, it's been wholly positive. You're gonna have stressful times for sure, difficult conversations, but I think, overall, as long as I'm happy with the people that I'm working with, the people that I'm coaching, I'm willing to continue to put in the time and energy, into the program, into these individuals. So, yeah, you have the one-off every once in a while, but yeah, wholly positive is would be what I would say. Yeah.
I think we're
Nice.
really lucky to have the group of coaches we have too. When those situations come up, we can kind of circle the wagons. Just be like, this guy said that, and they're all, yeah, yeah, hey, we got you. We have your back. Do whatever you think is best for the team. Um, and everyone's really real good about that kind of stuff.
Awesome. And now we're kind of flip it now. Let's talk about the positives of being a coach, or the positives you've seen since you've been a coach. Start with Jeremy.
I mean, man, I think the big positive for me is just you feel like you're making a difference, in something that you've sunk lots of time and energy into. And so, the value is there. Uh, if gratitude, um, I've gotten hilariously less and less social since the pandemic, since COVID. I was in my 20s. I mean, I feel like my mouth probably got me in trouble a lot in my 20s. And then I feel like when COVID came, I really turned into like an introvert. And so getting to be around people again, it like gets you back into like the swing of things a little bit more. So maybe more of a therapizing coping mechanism than anything else. But um, no, I mean the people are, fantastic to work with, for the most part. Just kidding. And uh, yeah, it's been really rewarding, just from that perspective.
Is therapizing a word?
Certainly is now.
Well, to make it work. Yeah, Jeremy and I played together quite a bit in the pre-COVID times, so we could walk down the gym bar memory lane, I think,
Oh
more than we'd
boy.
want to talk about on a public podcast.
Yeah. Are you
Moving on.
guys are you guys pretty close to each other when you guys were in LA? I assume.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, dodgeball
like
wise for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like physically.
At times.
So
Yeah.
it's like I think he was in WeHo and I was in uh, the East Side, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
I but I mean we played on quite a few rec teams together. We played on Arsenal together for a hot second. Um right about the time Jeremy kind of stopped playing. So um but yeah, no we have played quite a bit of dodgeball together.
Nice. Brett, any positives that you can think of about since you've been a coach?
No.
Nice.
I
Pretty empty, right? Yeah.
yeah, nothing. So it's kind of the opposite of the negatives, like the amount of relationships that I have built since becoming a coach. A lot of people that I probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to really hang out with and get to talk to. And it's the stuff outside of dodgeball that really seen people develop off the court, from what we're doing on the court is insanely rewarding. As far as, people becoming more, if they want to, becoming more vocal leaders, or, taking a bigger role in the dodgeball community or in their family or whatever. And being able to kind of trace that back and watch that progression is really, really fun. Um, More than any of the wins or losses, I guess.
And I don't have kids, so this is my fatherhood, Kim.
I have a dog.
Is that a
Yeah.
ton of kids,
Yeah.
Man, children.
man, children? I mean, sounds about right. But the reason why I kind of answer or asking you guys these coaches questions is my next question. Uh, Brett, can you give any advice to people that are interested or considering wanting to be a coach for Team USA?
Oh man. My usual answer to that question is just don't do it. Uh, and as Jeremy and I, like we both said, like it's a wholly positive experience, and it is really at times really, really rewarding. It does require more time than you think it does. If anyone's listening, it's like, oh, I really want to be a coach. It requires, wait, whatever you think it requires, it's going to be more. You start getting involved with, it's not just the stuff you see on the court. It is so much fun being on the court for a gold medal match, going into overtime. Like those are moments that are snapshots in your brain that will not go away, um, and they're amazing. There were thousands of hours that led up to that. So if you want to, the first thing you need to do is be able to commit to giving up quite a chunk of time. Um, at the same time, yeah, I would start talking to people you respect about um, what they think your strengths and weaknesses are, and how are you leading your teams, and how are you, on the court. Um, those are things that can be developed, and an eye for the game can be developed. So, um, advice wise, yeah, I'd say start kind of trying to take that role on um, with whatever teams you're playing on, as far as, being more of a leader, or trying to get involved with the game plan, lead some film reviews, and and start developing those skills.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I think much in the same vein, like, it's tough to know what people know about dodgeball if they never talk dodgeball with you. So, and that's certainly like an effort I'm trying to make more about, just talking dodgeball, people trying to get a better sense on like what people see, how people understand the game from their eyes. So, I think sharing that knowledge, or being willing to get in the conversation and just kind of see where you're at. I know we're always looking for the help. I'm currently looking for the help. Pretty sure Brett is currently looking for the help also. So if there's no shortage of spots, it's just, I guess, a question of like, like Brett said, it's a commitment. And whatever you think it is, it's a lot more, and probably a lot different too. I actually would love to check in more with Frankie. He's got a year under his belt now to kind of get a sense if this is what he thought it was. But um, yeah, it's, at the end of the day, I think having people in the arena with high knowledge of dodgeball who can continue to, like push strategies, keep the conversation going about, developing the game. That's really important. And then, ultimately passing down um, any sort of skill or thoughts or theories about how to play is important. So, getting engaged in the conversation, I would say, just if overall would be a great start if you haven't already.
Nice. I feel like there's been like a lack of outside of like I guess there was kind of like a boom of coaches this year or this cycle, but I feel like there was starting to become a lack of coaches wanting to, or people wanting to become coaches. I don't know if
Everyone
you
wants to
agree with
play.
that. Yeah.
Like I still want to play too. Like I would love to be on the team, you know. I'm sure Jeremy would too, um but yeah, I mean, even when we're in some scouting meetings, there's some conversations going like, honestly, this guy's going to be a good coach eventually, or you know, if, is he ever interested in maybe doing some scouting and that kind and uh uh I think we try to kind of gently because you don't want to tell someone like, hey, you're done playing. Because maybe they're not, and you never know what kind of work someone's going to put in. But we do notice and we do look. So
Uh, Jeremy, what motivates you to keep going as a coach?
Still staying. I think yeah, it's volunteer based. So like as long as I have the time um and energy for it, and I think as I said before, like as long as I feel like I'm making a difference, I feel like the people who I'm working with are benefiting from it. I'm as it stands, happy to continue to stay involved. I think as soon as if I feel like I can't give the same kind of commitment that I have in the past, I am doing, more operationally than I ever have. So like my duties are changing as well. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, but you know, it, I still, I don't know, still very much enjoy it. We're just sickos.
it's so true. Um,
Just,
yeah, and it, it's it's the people, like Jeremy was saying. It's being able to stay involved. Like it makes some of the long calls that aren't about the fun stuff. They aren't film reviews, we're just going over where's camp going to be and where the jersey's coming from and that kind of stuff. And it's uh, what makes it worth it is all the people that are involved in watching people develop as players and as coaches. Uh, that I think that's what keeps it. Probably it's what keeps us all going.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. I feel like community is the biggest drive for all dodgeball players to continue playing.
And we're
Uh,
going to get in the Olympics eventually. And I still want to be the coach for the first Olympic team.
that'd be dope.
I'll be 73.
yeah, got to put walkers on the sidelines for us.
That's fine. I'll get the old Phil Jackson Lakers chair out
Mm,
with all the lumbar going on.
got a
Killing a
community
three
theme.
piece.
Done.
Awesome. A question for specifically just Brett. What are the major differences so far that you have noticed from last world cycle compared to this cycle, like the process of the practice squads, the camaraderie, players, etc.?
Um, the floor has really raised. Uh, there are people who were not considering that, we've scouted and like you're probably not going to be on the practice squad this time that probably in 22 would have been close to like a starter on the team. And it's just it is especially on the cloth side, just because we've been playing foam for so much longer, but especially on the cloth side, seeing like how good the that floor has gone up talent wise and game knowledge, um, for sure. And on the women's side, for cloth as well, just seeing there, I think there's some big jumps happening, which is really fun to watch as like as an overall kind of co-director perspective. I think Jeremy's done a lot of improvements with just our like our evaluation sheets and everything. And this it seems like we're a lot more organized than we have been, just getting things done kind of in a more timely fashion. So um, camaraderie, honestly, among the coaches is really good as well too. Like we there's a lot of chats and stuff happening on those, and watching all the players in Mexico. Yeah, a lot of seems like a lot of team dinners, a lot of people going out, enjoying themselves, um, at the appropriate times. Um, so yeah, I think we're kind of really gravitating towards being less siloed to not just women's cloth and men's foam and all the teams and really kind of trying to get towards being one Team USA, which is the best possible scenario.
Nice. And it was kind of like a restart of the process for you compared to last year's practice squad, where it was kind of like an older demographic comparative to now, where the new blood kind of came in.
Well, Nate not being on the
Yeah.
team drops our
Average for sure.
median age by about 17 or 18 years, so that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, no, but really, I mean, Nate and Glenn, we're both the captains for the men's cloth team, and neither one are going to be on cloth going forward. So, yeah, there's a void there for sure. Uh, I'm curious to see who really steps in to becoming like the voice and the leader of the team, and not necessarily, being the vocal presence that Nate was. Like that's special in its own right, but the person that the everyone gravitates and kind of leads the charge. Um, I'm curious to see who shakes out to be that. But yeah, we lost a lot of experience. Um, One of our best players is playing foam, which is really disappointing. Uh, and but yeah, it's definitely we lost a lot of guys for different reasons. So it's a different squad. Um, but that's kind of the joy of it too. The teams are only together for one cycle, and you'll never have that same team again. Even if you bring back all the same guys for the next cycle, the team will still be different. So
Um, Question for you, Jeremy. Um, with the switch from being head coach of mixed to head coach of men's, what has been some major differences for you that you've noticed so far?
There is a different vibe for sure. Um, uh, I guess we'll start there. It is played differently. There is more of a priority on like an order of operations, so to speak, where I think getting out a prio target is slightly more valuable than like a standard match. So um, I think a lot of the times how I've mostly seen it shake out is a lot of the times the guys kind of just cancel each other out, and it's kind of up to the women. Like the team that has the women that perform better is the team that usually wins. Um, we That was certainly the case this time around or last time around for us and against Canada. Like JC and Riel were their best players, and they played better than us. So, um, uh, you know, I don't know. You guys are a different breed. We'll put it that way, and that's not to allude to the dog stuff, um, uh, but truly, truly, you guys bring an energy that I think is difficult to find organically on a lot of teams. And it's one thing when you step into a room and you can like feel the passion of the guys that are there, or the players that are in that room. And that's not to say that that wasn't the case, for the mixed side, but I think there's just like a different energy there. I think the game is slightly different, but you know, a lot of the time it still just boils down to execution. So, um, I would say they're pretty similar in that sense.
Uh, Going back to you, Brett. I heard some rumors that there will be some changes to the WDBF cloth rule set. Is that true? Yay or nay?
yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. What are these changes?
I don't even know what all the changes are right now.
Okay.
I've only heard about a few. You know what? I need a public forum with whoever is in charge. And even Stefan. If Stefan wants to have me on his podcast and we can talk about these rules, because to me I feel like these decisions are getting made, and I don't think they're getting made by committee. And I could be wrong on that. And that besides the point. Some of these rules just don't make sense to me. I think if someone right now were to come in and watch Dodgeball with the cloth rule set that's coming on, it would be really hard for them to just pick up what's going on because there's so many refs discretion and um, you know, well, this is what happens unless, and it just becomes hard to follow from a viewership perspective. Um, like the one of the big rule changes that they're talking about that they're inputting is that players are dead on contact or dead on the hit. Um, so as soon as the player's hit, they're dead. Unless that ball goes up in the air, then they can make a catch on that. Um, but but that's the only thing that they're allowed to do. So if I get hit and the ball goes up in the air and I have a ball in my hand, I can't throw that at someone else. At the same time, if that ball's up in the air and someone throws at me and then I catch that ball or I get hit with that ball, I'm an out player. If I catch the ball, then I think I'm still out. And honestly, I'm not sure how that goes. So there's a definition for a live player and there's a definition for a dead player. But if I get hit with a ball and the ball goes up in the air, now I'm neither a live or dead player. So there's just too many like logical inconsistencies across the breadth of like one action. And I would like for someone to explain to me why those rules are in place. And if there's a good reason, I'm willing to listen to it. But I just do not I can't follow the progression and what I've been told too. So if I get hit, and then you catch it, I'm an out player. We're all familiar with that. But I haven't gotten a good reason on the why, because at the same time, if we both get hit, we're both out. So we're penalized the same. But if if you catch it, then you're still live. And because the only reason I've been given is because the thrower's intent was not that that ball would pop up. But at the same time, if I get hit and the ball goes back across the court, then I can't imagine that the thrower's intent. So I need an explanation on these rules, and I'm willing to concede points. I will go into it with an open mind, but I would like for someone to explain the rules in public so that everyone can hear it and we can finally move forward because right now I don't think they make sense. Not that, you know, I've been thinking about it.
Nice. Definitely
Uh,
seems like there needs to be like a team, or not a team, like you said, like a hall where they talk about it or something. That's pretty
Yeah,
major.
yeah, and again, so if someone comes in and they watch. And not to say that the foam rules are better, because I do think the cloth has some rules that are better than foam for sure. But if someone were to come in and watch and see someone get hit with foam rules, okay, two people get hit, they're both out. Okay, that makes sense. And then if someone gets hit and then the other player catches it, oh, well, they're both safe. That makes sense because it's the flow of that, how that goes. But uh, yeah, having people watch dodgeball with me when it's on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, and the amount of explaining that I have to do about why that is happening in cloth, and I feel like we've gone further away from that. Um, yeah, I'll play with, we will play with whatever rule set that we're given. I just would like an explanation.
Kloss just continues to go down this stupid rule hole that they keep digging themselves deeper into.
A- And again, if there's an explanation, hey, this is the reason why we do it. Okay, fine, but I've yet to hear a good one.
my intent was to get Brett to say something that would force you to have to edit this episode, Kim, and I'm disappointed that that was very reasonable and
That
met with a lot of yeah. Sorry.
that is purely because it's Kim's podcast. Uh, on the call last night that Jeremy and I were talking about, it was a different.
A different Brett.
The language was more what people I think are used to from hearing me say at tournaments.
Oh, good, because I would have edited it anyways. It would have been raw. But yeah,
Now I'm
that
like, wait, should I go back and change my answer? What the f Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah, definitely sounds like a very
Yeah.
interesting take. I feel like the only reason why they would do that is to make the refs' jobs easier. Is the only answer they can really give.
And I don't think it does. I don't think any of the because again, so if I get hit on contact and they're like, okay, it's dead on contact, unless. So if I get hit and then at what point am I no longer allowed to make a play on that ball? Like as that, because I can still make a play on that ball, and that's the only thing I'm allowed to do, and still try to catch it. But where where in the rest discretion, well, that ball went 3 feet to the side, so you can still make a, or a meter to the side because of Europe. Or now it's 1.3 meters away. So now it's actually too far away for you to make a play on that. Like I, I feel like there's just too much ambiguity.
Feels pretty clear to me. I don't know.
Well, you shut up. I almost said something different, but I don't want Kim to have to try to edit.
No, I would not edit no matter what you
Fucker.
say. Awesome. Sounds like Claude is going in a great direction.
I I really enjoy so much of the cloth game and the cloth rule set and the meta and the intelligence that it takes to play. Like I said, I would just really like to have an explanation about why something is done a certain way. Not even better or worse, just what's the reasoning behind it.
Yeah. Dope. And my last question for y'all. Favorite moments as a coach that you've gotten so far? Anyone want to start?
Uh,
Winning
no.
is always helpful.
Winning.
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
Fire
go
away,
ahead,
dude.
Brett.
No, yours is easier for sure.
Uh, I mean, yeah, like obviously big wins and big matches. There are definitely moments when I just blacked out from sheer joy. Um, One of those was definitely when Xander clutched that 1v1 in against Canada in the semis. Um, I'm sure there are others, but that was like the one that stuck out to me. And I think there's a couple still photos of that where the group is progressively losing their minds. And like by the last shot, we're all like suspended in the air. So, um, but yeah, I would say that, and then just in a general sense, like anytime you get thanked like wholeheartedly, it is annoying how good that feels, I think. I try not to like I
Eh.
don't want it. I'm not seeking it, but when it happens, like it does make you feel good. So um I have to say that, yeah.
Or maybe, winning a world championship.
Yeah, oh yeah, we did that. We did that. We did that. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Real
Uh,
good.
Nice.
I mean, winning against England in semis, where I like literally picked Kim up and just started walking off the court was up there just because everyone was like, you can't beat good European teams. And that's all that we had heard going into Worlds last year, especially going over to Europe. Um, so that was just talked about being process driven. That's a validation of the process of like we are doing things the right way if we're at that level and we're competing with these guys. Um, that's up there. And not really so much for the win, but for the joy and the celebration. And just before just before that, there had been a really weird situation in a women's cloth game where someone had like stepped on the court before the game was actually over, and they ended up like going back and replaying like 7 seconds or something. It was a really weird thing. So I had this intense paranoia of us getting on the court with like a half a second too soon or something. So I'm at the sidelines being like, everyone stay. And
That did not happen.
um yeah, Pyan was the first one. I think he hit me as he left the court, like as he was going back, but like everyone just ran past me and I was like, well, I guess it's on now. So that celebration was fun. Um and then actually after losing in the finals, the mood sucked at first. And then I think there was a realization as well that like, well, we just lost the world championships to the host country in overtime. Like again, this validates that what we're doing, we're getting better and we've shown that we can compete with anybody. So just showing that like, the hours and hours and hours that we put in as players and coaches and fitness challenge and everything um, worked. Uh, I think that's probably one of my favorites as well, amongst so many others. But yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of that validation.
Nice.
That
Sure.
blackout in Edmonton was dope. I forgot
The
about it
blackout.
up until recently when the power went out.
Oh my God, that was incredible. Sorry, I thought you meant like us blacking out. I was like, I don't remember, but I guess you wouldn't
Yeah,
remember blacking
you
out. But
wouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
were playing that game. That was yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and everyone put their phones up. I can visualize it right now. It was so pretty. It was just gorgeous. And it was a very like community moment too. Like everyone's there and they're watching and the power goes out and the power in the gym went out because someone like ran into a transformer or something. And then everyone gets their phones up and it lights the court. And for a minute, I was like, we're going to play by phone light. This is going to be incredible. And then they're like, we're just going to, we end up waiting for a couple of hours. But
That's
it was
terrible.
excruciating, but
we
definitely
were
a core memory.
we were two sets in. Like it was
Yeah,
incredibly excruciating. I think we had some momentum going into that too, but yeah,
yeah, I think you did, and I think we were able to reasonably say that was the reason you lost.
we didn't lose. That was the
Oh yeah.
bronze medal game.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
That was mixed bronze against Australia. It was 2-2 when the blackout happened.
Mm.
Um, but I do really appreciate you giving me excuses because I will always take them. Wins are for players, losses are for coaches. It's what it is.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah.
Beautiful quote. Thank you to Jeremy for this little section that we're going to do for this episode, the hot take
Oh,
blitz
Oh
section.
no. Okay.
Um,
I
thank
think
you
I
to
already did
everyone.
mine, but go ahead.
Thank you to everyone that sent in questions and for this hot take last second thing. I really appreciate it. Um, I don't know if I should keep these anonymous or not. They're not too bad, so I don't think we need to. Uh, first
Can we keep
question.
can we keep our responses anonymous?
Oh yeah, just
Okay,
knock your face off for a little
great.
bit. First question is from Frankie. Who is one player from the other coach's team you'd want to cross over and play on your team?
Should I say Kim?
Shota.
Kim? I'll tell you, Kim win for 200, Alex.
dang, that's good. I'm thinking of NA, but I should probably think more holistically. I
Ooh,
mean,
other countries? Interesting.
other countries.
Oh, from another country?
I think he's talking
Ooh,
about y'all too, but
Mm,
no. Um, there's actually a ton of guys I would love to have crossover just because I haven't coached them before. But man, from another country, that'd be super interesting.
that would be cool.
when we did our team bonding laser tag in Kansas City, Quan played with us, so I'll say Quan.
I think our
He's
team
got
agrees that
his
we would
foot
take
half in the
one.
door already. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another question from Frankie. Team USA men's foam wood metal and cloth. Thoughts?
Would medal?
Yeah.
Does that in this scenario is our do we have two USA teams playing now?
Uh,
No, I think he's
no,
just
Okay.
I think we
saying,
just substitute.
yeah.
Medal there yeah. Okay, sure. Listen, yeah, they would definitely be the second best USA team we could take for sure.
Well done. Well done.
There's yeah, the best part is looking at just the overall stats. Like I think we're the only team that's medaled in both ball types. But I think we're the only country that has. I'd have to look at everything really closely to be absolutely sure, but I'm fairly certain. So it speaks a lot to what everyone's done to commit to being better. But yeah, I think if they had the right coach, they could the men's foam could probably pull out a at least a bronze. They'll be in the top four.
Yeah, we definitely got some dummies on our team that need to understand the rules, but
Oh yeah, that'd be a nightmare.
yeah, we would end up throwing all our balls.
So many blue cards. Yeah.
Yeah, blue card would be
That
the
would
worst. Yeah.
that would be yes, that would be the absolute the push-ups all day.
Jeremy, I don't know if you answered or not, but
What was the question?
uh, Team USA men's foam wood metal and cloth.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure.
Do you think men's cloth could medal in foam?
Yes. Yes,
That's
I
my
do.
guy.
Yes, I do.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Uh, Next question. Game day Dom. I assume that's Dominic Borgia. How has coaching the team changed? How has coaching the team changed from the Worlds when the combine first started till now?
What?
How has
Uh,
coaching the team changed from the Worlds when the combine first started till now?
well, I mean, one of the biggest ones, we have more teams to choose from, and not just not just two ball types, but also mixed in there. So, um, you have to look at so many more traits, especially when you're starting to factor in the guys that would perform better on mixed, that would perform better on men's, and there that's a discussion that as scouts, like, we really do have in depth. Like, I think this guy, we try to take people's preferences into account for sure, but there's definitely some, like, uh, he's not going to do really well on men's, but he could definitely be like a 4 or 5, level player on mixed. So it just really broadens the scope of what we're looking for, um, and finding more people to fit into uh, more places.
A lot more options.
Uh,
Yeah, I think we're just kind of better across the board in everything. I think bigger squads, uh, better players, better maybe higher floor players than in the past. Our drills are better. Everything's better. Yeah.
Nice. Next question is from Tim Bether. Hope you heal up, first of all.
yeah, get better, Tim.
Uh, Finishing a cloth game should be 3 points, win by two, or win by time, 2 points, tie 1 point.
I simultaneously agree and disagree. Um, I actually think it should be 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, no points for a loss. Um, if you eliminate or sorry, I said that wrong. Um, 2 points if you eliminate everyone, 1 point if you win, and I don't think we should get any points for a tie.
I
I,
agree. Yeah.
but but the math is mostly the same. So if you want to do 3-2-1, that's totally fine as well. But I do think one of the worst parts about dodgeball is when someone's got a lead with 2 minutes left in a cloth game and it's just a stall.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yuck.
yeah,
Gross.
it's almost as bad as watching phone players drain off 10 minutes a clock. Not as bad, but it's pretty close. So, but yeah, no, I think they're actually going to experiment with that at the European Championships this year.
Oh,
So hopefully that does come to pass, because I think it'll make it opens the door for bigger comebacks as well.
yeah.
So but the strategy evolves, and I think it creates a better overall game. And that's what I'm talking about. We can change these rules to make it a better game.
Yeah.
I spent enough time on that.
Or just add no block at the end of the timer.
Yeah,
Mm.
also add that, but I do think that the if you can eliminate the whole team,
Yeah. Yeah.
before the 3 minutes are up, I think that's great.
Um, Next question from Sam Sayward. USA should adopt WDBF. I assume rule sets.
I think we're pretty
Boom.
close.
Roasted.
I haven't actually read. The rules committee has a draft out for new rules this year that the board is looking at right now. They're not going to be 100% the same, but there's definitely a move towards getting a lot closer. Play ball and cloth, and things like that. So um, I'm kind of torn on it. I don't think that everything we do as far as USA Dodgeball goes and our tournaments go should be towards gearing people up to play to make it Team USA and play at Worlds. I think that we do need to do more to foster newer and younger players coming in. But I think we are actually getting pretty. I'm gonna say we're probably gonna be about 90% of WDBF rules going into this year,
Yeah.
barring any huge changes from Worlds.
Yeah, and like those, and even those rules are changing, or still like in motion to change potentially too. So we think, I think we are doing overall a good job of kind of aligning as much as we can where it makes sense. I do think we've gotten rid of like well, what I hope we do is get rid of like this notion that we need to be trendsetters necessarily, because as much as I can appreciate like an innovation to the game that makes it better, like we also shouldn't necessarily just be, changing rules for just like a sheer experimental sake. Like even just kind of pivoting back to even like the European cloth rules, like all of the rules changes need to be grounded in intent and purpose, and like a lot of the time it just makes sense to align with the WDBF rule set. But I do think like the burden change, the reset of the defensive throws, like
I hate that
um,
rule. I hate it.
I know you do, I know you do. Uh, you know, it, if we're the only country that plays that way, I do think it's like disadvantageous. If there's like a strong push for it, that it will be, for instance, like part of WDF going forward, then that makes more sense. But like, any instance where we are the only country doing it, is not usually indicative of like maybe the greatest. So I think we just need to be willing to like just re-examine like how we think about dodgeball, and just be willing to change when we need to.
I think that's kind of the nice part about like European championships trying out the scoring. Like a bunch of countries are like, let's experiment with this. Because I agree with you. If we're the only ones doing it, even if I think it's a better rule, um, I do think that our practice squad members are smart enough and able enough to make the adjustment. But uh, but yeah, if we're the only ones doing it, maybe we're just wrong. So
Change for the sake of change is a good reason to
yeah.
change. Yeah.
Nice. Hot take. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, mild take on that one. Yeah, we're already doing it.
Zach Fernald. Hot take: is Kim more handsome holding a cloth or foam ball?
Cloth. Next question.
I'm gonna say foam.
Nope. Next
Yeah,
question.
I think foam just fits better.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard Kim's kids like cloth balls better.
Mm.
Oh, I heard the opposite.
Nope.
The
One of
only
us is a liar.
the only ball I have in my house is a foam ball. So
Son of a bitch. I'll ship some too.
nice. Shota Barbo. Would the foam team beat the cloth team in cloth, or would the cloth team beat foam in foam?
I mean, judging by past results, I think cloth team holding their own against foam is
So we did do
closer.
that. We did do that.
Yeah.
There is only one true way to answer this question,
Mm,
so we'll find out.
we got to do it.
Let's get it on the books.
If you guys want that on the books, let's make it for a reason. We can either do it, Rocky Apollo style and no one sees it, or if you guys want to, uh, do this as a fundraiser or something,
No, we should definitely do
there's
it as a fundraiser streamed.
there you go. And you know what? Let's get the women involved too. Like if we can figure out how to get women and mixed, and yeah, let's see it.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's
lock
see
it
where
in.
we're at. Show to set it up. Get
Should
your
set it up.
Yeah, get your 22,000 Instagram followers to chip $1 each in.
Um, Nathan Wu, who's the best finger blocker in the States? I'm assuming this is for foam.
Yeah, it would have to be. Um, I yeah, I don't even know how to answer that question.
Who
I
who
would
cheats the most? Is that what that
Essentially, yeah.
question?
He puts a wiki face after, so
Mm,
no, Nate Kreider.
yeah, I think he'd cut to that.
I'm sure you've seen a lot, Jeremy, where you had to have like as a ref.
Oh yeah, listen, it's tough for sure. My biggest defense in having refed a lot of dodgeball is that very often we are very sure about what we see. Um, and very often when it gets run back and you look at it, you realize that, oh, I was actually very wrong. And we can be
Guilty.
100% positive
Guilty.
in the
Yeah.
moment. And then, just from just a slightly different angle, and you realize, oh, wow, I just saw that completely wrong. So that happens a lot. And so I don't remember what the question was asked.
Who's
I'm
the
going on.
who's the best finger blocker in the US?
Yes. I will get. I will probably avoid answering that. But in talking still about refing, uh, it's a tough. It's tough. I think refs are often probably more certain than they really are. Like they make calls that they think are certain. When I think refing is really all about like game management and like managing the flow of the game. It's not an infraction spotting contest. Your job isn't to call everything you see. There are times where there are like you can just keep the whistle in your mouth and like the flow of the game is far more important. Um, Now that we've said that,
Now,
I
this
would
guy's a piece of shit. And
I would
yeah,
say the best finger blocker is probably abroad. I'll say that.
Abroad.
you know what? I will echo everything that Jeremy just said as far as refing goes. And I've refed a lot of the UDCs and stuff with Jeremy as well. Yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm like, this guy's an absolute piece of shit cheater and he shouldn't be allowed to play dodgeball anymore. And then I watch back the video and go, oh, my bad. And it's one, incredibly embarrassing. And two, I think it does give a little bit of like confidence in the community and the sport and everything. And I think we do a pretty good job. There are absolutely exceptions, but we do a pretty good job of uh, policing and really kind of not allowing that sort of play when we get to like the Team USA level. Just being like, hey, that these are like, talking about one of my favorite moments coaching last at Worlds after the Austria game. The Irish coach came up to me and gave me a jersey and was just like, "You guys play the right way. You did everything." And we played them twice. We played them in round robin and in bracket. He goes, "You guys do everything the right way, and this is how the game should be played. And I really want to give you this jersey." And that was one of the most like gratifying moments, being like, "Yeah, my guys are good. Like we play the game how it should be played."
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Very vaguely answered.
Mm. No, I stand by my answer.
So
Nate
Nate Kreider.
Kreider, yeah, worst finger blocker in America. Will never be on Team USA again.
Mm. Xander Seamost. Who's the easiest to coach?
The like the easiest person?
I guess it's just who's the easiest to coach?
Oh, God. Um, I I can't think of an individual person right now. That would require like a really intense amount of thought to figure that out. Um, I will say sometimes there are people who just see the game the same way that you see the game, and uh, you'd be like, hey, there have been players before who are like, hey, so, and before I even say anything, they're like, I know I shouldn't have done that because of this and this and this, and you're just like, oh, well, so don't do it again. Okay, thanks. And um, that's definitely those guys are definitely really easy to coach. Um, that's probably one of the biggest challenges as far as all of the coaching goes, is we really only get one true real practice with the squad. And so you're just trying to get everyone to speak the same language and see the game the same way so that when you're doing kind of your debriefs and stuff, it you're not doing as much explanation. You're just kind of, okay, so here's what I saw, here's what you saw. Cool, let's move forward. But Xander
I think
sucks.
I've been, yeah, with the exception of Xander, I've been very fortunate in the players that I've gotten to coach. I have not found it terribly difficult to coach any of my players thus far. Um, and I think a lot of that points to, the people that we select. And there's a reason that coaching maybe them isn't that difficult. And it's because, we're aligned in a lot of ways. And I think when you're kind of unified for a common goal in that sense, like it shouldn't be too hard to coach. Like as long as I think the biggest thing for me was always just been like honesty and accountability. I think our vets have that, and I think it starts with them and them teaching, the new guys coming in, and passing it on. I think, yeah, I would say, any of the returning players that I have, or that like anticipate returning, who've been involved in this cycle and continue to be involved. It's been, pretty much a joy for all those players. So
Nice.
I like 80%, 75% of my players too.
Nice.
it keeps going down and down.
Yeah.
60%. There was one guy I really had a good time with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam Hutter, will Brett bring back the red pants?
Yes. I don't, so I wore red pants in Edmonton, and I did not realize I squat a lot when I'm watching and stuff. I did not realize that I the crotch ripped out of my red pants in Edmonton. Um,
Sure.
I mean, and I was wearing blue underwear that day. So, and I had absolutely no idea. So like at least one full game, I'm coaching and squatting a lot and everything. And I don't remember who it was. It was like a friend of someone on the team. And right now I can't think of who it was. It might have been Tree, and came up and was like, "Hey, so right? Like, that everyone can see your underwear." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And yeah, it was, colors were not close. It was very, very bright and very visible. So I got a new pair for Austria. But I will rock the red pants again. Alfred is always great about making sure we have matching wardrobes. So um, yeah, we'll do it. I had the nice Mario jump in the red pants in the England game, so
Beautiful.
they feel lucky now.
Yeah, very American color combo.
Yeah.
Red and white, baby.
Tegan Pegs, the heat stroke you would have gotten from wearing full suits for the gold medal matches in Austria, was it worth it for the gag?
Yeah.
Gag.
Yeah. Brett doesn't know what you're talking about. This is who he is. He's suits on a hot day. That's how you sum up Brett Kauble in a sentence.
I just finished watching Peaky Blinders today too,
Mm.
but like I like wearing a suit, but I think it like um I think it makes us look more professional, and that's a really big deal for me. Um, you know, so but I also think there's a little bit of tradition behind it now. Like there's always been at least ties on medal days, if not suits. And Jeremy had the red suit, which just I think that did not get enough attention.
I
It's
committed to the
fantastic.
bit for sure.
Yeah,
I kept the jacket on the whole time.
I did not.
Uh, I think if the shirt that I was wearing underneath had fit better, I probably would have taken the jacket off. Uh, but I was committed there. I don't
I,
know. Thailand is gonna be it's gonna be hot.
well, there's gonna be air conditioning,
Yeah, as long as there's AC.
but yeah,
Let's
no, my
hope.
jacket. I think my jacket made it. I think 2 games, and then it was jacket off, loosen tie, roll up the sleeves. I'm like, I can't. I produce a lot of body heat, and I just could not function.
It definitely looks nice having the coaches wear suit.
We go black suits this time.
Tuxedos?
With tails.
Love a girdle.
Little Butler
Yeah.
action.
Hey, I'm not saying no.
Uh, also, hot take. allow people to trial slash be on the training squad for both formats. Don't make the pick one. Thoughts? Age old question.
That was the old way, I think, at one point, maybe.
To be on both squads?
No, just that you were just like we're doing the opposite in the sense that we're moving away from allowing players to just like check both boxes and say, pick me. Like we would much rather have players like select a path and then be open to considering the other ball type if it works out for them that way. Um, Too many times, and we're running into it now, like the venues as Worlds like gets bigger and bigger, and maybe that's changing. But like venues have to change, and we had two venues in Austria. I think it's certainly possible that we're not going to all be able to smash it all into one venue in Thailand. So like I think having multiple venues certainly complicates things. Like scheduling wise, I know that there's like an idea of like, only being added for like the bracket matches, which I think kind of goes against like, what we're trying to do, which
Well,
is build and maintain, not just like swoop in for golds and bounce. But
yeah. And adding to that, like there is so much of a commitment, time commitment to the film study and learning the rules and building the chemistry and the camaraderie and everything. Just on the practice squad side, like not even once we've chosen teams and the time constraints and the venue constraints and everything, like you talked about, but also when we're doing combines and practices and everything, I don't see a way how you could even be on both practice squads and get the full experience of it and getting the full value and evaluation that we really need. It's tough right now, even having people on men's, women's, and mixed. So crossing ball types as well. Uh, it logistically, like I get it. Someone's a great player, you want to put them on every team you can, and I understand that. But the logistics behind it are very difficult, if not just impossible.
Yeah. All right. That's all the hot take blitz segment. We'll go to Instagram questions. Zach Fernald, which you wants Kim on your team more?
Me?
well, it's
No, next
technically
question.
I have Kim, so
So,
I don't
yeah,
want him. I have him. You want him because you don't have him. So by
but
default, the answer is you. But who loves Kim more? I think is the
me,
bigger question. And
definitely me.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so
Do
sure
you
about that.
do you like I take Kim's kids to daycare?
Do you?
Yeah,
You do that, huh?
twice a week,
Twice a week. What a
7
trip.
a.m. Yeah,
Oh boy. How do you even live a normal life? Does Shania know that you're
she's
handling
got
another?
well, her best friend lives in the Dallas area. She's in Fort Worth, so it's just she hangs out with her and I just do the kid thing.
Wow.
It's not
Well, then,
working.
yeah,
He's still on foam. I mean, it's fine.
I guess you do love him more than. I'm sorry, I'm not taking your kids to daycare, Kim.
It's okay.
It's a 20-hour round trip commute. It's not a big deal.
It's crazy. It's a lot of love. I feel like the kid of a divorced parents. uh,
What's what's nice is that we have a lot of players that actually could play on either team, and
Really? Yeah.
I think we're incredibly fortunate because I don't know if there's another country in the world that can legitimately say we're competitive in uh, every division, every ball type. Our worst finish in Worlds last year was fifth. Like we're doing the right things
yeah,
and we're getting better.
agreed. Uh, Brittany Morales, what are some qualities you appreciate in a player that makes your experience as a coach more enjoyable?
Oh, well, funny, we just had our scout meeting. One of the points of emphasis was like coachability. And so, there's a lot of physical tools, obviously, that you need to perform at the highest level, but um, what's probably obviously harder to kind of measure and quantify or qualify as, if this person is willing to like listen to you or take feedback and criticism and like convert that energy into something positive, or are they going to spiral and give up? So the coachability aspect of it, I don't know if I've run into like a lot of issue with that, so I think that's positive. But I do think a player is willing to listen and take feedback, and I think like our standard in our playbook we talk about is culture and its confidence and its commitment. So I think players who are committed, players who have confidence in themselves, who trust their teammates, and then are willing to kind of buy into the culture, which is like being an elevated member of the community, someone who is an ambassador, someone who can be looked up to. I think all those aspects certainly make the job a lot easier for us.
Yeah, and to add on to that, just have presence too. Don't if we're having a film review, I'm not saying you have to chime in on every possible play, but I do love to just people throw something in the chat or chime in, and make the experience enjoyable for everybody too. It's really hard to leave someone off a team if you're just like, I just really like having that guy around. So yeah, all of those yeah, and what Jeremy was saying too.
Nice.
I could ramble on, but yeah, he
Next question is from Pierce McKenna. Favorite and least favorite parts about camp and going through scouting?
Scheduling. Scheduling camp is, I mean, our schedule was like to the minute. And then having to work in, when photography was going to happen. And like little things like that. We had multiple versions of our schedule by the end of it. That's always difficult. But in scouting, it is just a lot of labor. It's just a lot of just work. But the work is a lot easier when you're enjoying the people you're working with. That if they're putting in effort, and it's worth like scouting them, and that they're going to take the feedback to heart and try and improve. Yeah, I think the best parts are, or at least when like the players say like every year the players have said this is the best camp that they've been to. So as every year we keep fine tuning and getting better at what we're doing at these camps. So as long as I think that trajectory continues, that's certainly like something I look forward to.
and making cuts. I hate it. Like I honest to God hate choosing players and choosing teams just because um people are putting so much effort and time and money and everything into it and having to tell someone, well, like, yeah, you know sometimes it's razor thin, sometimes it's um sometimes also you've gotten the same feedback for 3 cycles now and you haven't improved on that, and so what more can I give you to help you with that? But yeah, I hate telling people that they're either not on a squad or not on a team just because I've been in that position. I know how it feels. But the scheduling and everything is also an absolute nightmare. So
When you said cuts, it was after I was talking about what my favorite thing was, and so I thought you were just like I love
I
I
love
love
telling
cutting. I
people
love
that, yeah, no, that is by far and away, you know, uh that yeah, the disappointment that you have to give to people, and that's the job,
yeah.
and it's people, and a lot of times too it's people that we've known for more than a few years and that we really care about, and you just have to be like, it's not happening for you right now, man, and sucks.
Yeah.
I think just to kind of touch on that quickly, like and like losing knowing like what to say, like that part of communication, like telling someone they didn't make a team, like whatever you tell them, the chances are it's probably like not what they're looking to hear anyway. So there is a lot of, I don't, massage isn't necessarily the right word, but it's like you do need to be very mindful about like how you phrase things, and you always want to be positive and be optimistic and like keep the like the possibility of like improving and getting better always open. Um, uh, yeah, I guess that's all.
I'm a, you know, storytelling. I love it. I did that. There was a guy um that that didn't make the team last year, last cycle going into Austria, and sent Alfred and myself a message and was like, "Hey, I think I really feel like I did everything you guys said I need to improve on. I put in the work. Like, what's the issue, you know?" And the good and bad of it was the good was, well, you actually you absolutely improved, but everyone else continued to get better as well. So you're still on the outside looking in. As much as we enjoy you as a person and as a player, just wasn't there. And the immediate response was, "Thank you for the feedback. I'm going to get better." And that's the best one that I've ever gotten. Um, and I'm not saying everyone's going to do that by any means, but it just, and I gave a lot of respect at that point, just being like, yeah, hey, I didn't make it. The decision was a decision, but how can I get better? And that's, like I said, one of those characteristics looking at just falling in love with the process. And I want to be a better player and I'm going to put in the effort. Um, and that really went a long way with me.
Uh, Next couple questions. Shota Barbo. Love y'all both. So now let me play both.
No.
Yes.
Um, First question: will there be a future where players could cross over and play both ball types?
Honestly, I don't think from a logistical perspective it's possible. Uh, I mean, even if we're talking about our semifinal games for men's foam and men's cloth happened at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So, what are we gonna do? Yes, you can be on the team and just play in a gold medal match and not play with the team the entire week and then just come in and I'm sure want to start in a gold medal match. Like, cool thought. And um, but the logistics are just really rough.
Maybe one day, I think is what I've decided. I'm going to treat that question with that response going forward. It's just maybe one day. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, I could theoretically see a possibility of like these are just our 10 best players, and we're taking them, and we're gonna go play both ball types with like these guys, or ladies, or mixed, or whatever. Um, uh, but there right now, uh, there's just no way.
yeah.
Is that too hot? Is that too hot of a, because we did this thought experiment at in Mexico City. Like if we had to field a team of 14 to go win everything, who makes that team? I'm
There's
curious to hear the responses.
there is a sports writer. I think it's Greg Easterbrook. He used to do this column called Tuesday Morning Quarterback, and I don't know if he still does it, but he would talk about his thought experiment was always if a group of aliens came down and they're like, we're going to destroy your world unless you can beat us at this sport. Like, who would your people be that you choose?
Mm,
And that's like, if we're playing football, like what quarterback would you take today to be like, if you lose this game,
the worst.
everybody in
Yeah.
the world dies. And that's kind of a fun thought experiment that
No,
I
actually,
absolutely do not have an answer for.
I thought about that too. I was like, if the aliens were to come down right now and they had to do a 1v1, who is our representative?
I got 3 throws left, man.
That's all you need. Just one throw. All right. Question for specific from Jeremy. Uh, what has been a key difference between coaching mixed and men's?
I think we touched on that a little bit earlier. but I do think, yeah, the game is just played a little differently. It's a lot more volatile, the mixed game. I think you could put two very even mixed teams against each other and have them play 10 matches. Um, and it might be like 5-5 at the end of it, but the games might be like 8-2 or 6-5. Um, I think who is better at executing, eliminating the priority targets early on in the mixed game is usually the team that has the advantage. So I'd say that would be maybe the biggest adjustment.
I agree with that too. I mean, they didn't ask me, uh, but yeah, that's very similar in cloth. Like you said, the guys kind of cancel each other out, and then and you can see that from how things have shaken out. Like the Austrian women have won all but one major tournament in the last like decade, and their mixed team has also done about the same because their women are just incredible.
And then Brett, what's a meta you want to see the USA men's to adopt in our cloth style? And what's the biggest difference you see between European cloth and American cloth?
I think the biggest difference is probably pace of the game. Uh, the the European teams, after there's a throw, push up very quickly. And because we're really used to like a full 10-second, especially old 8.5 players are used to, all right, where's the ball? All right, now everyone get a ball, come together, have a chat, bake some cookies, make the play call, and then go execute. And, and I think that's the biggest difference. And I think that did actually hurt us a little bit in the gold medal match too, that there were some rundowns happening and we just really hadn't quite prepared for that because Austria just did it better than a lot of other teams did. Obviously because they won. So yeah, we probably need to be uh just meta-wise just faster. Um, and we were very much, in 22 it was how do we play the game? And then in 24 it was how do we play the game our way? And now in 26 it's how do we play the game our way in a way that we adopt a style that's more effective. And I think that's the next evolution for us is taking advantage of some mismatches as opposed to some mismatches like athletically as opposed to mentally. Because I think mentally we were very smart and we were very controlled and we made really good play calls. And now we can rely on that while also relying on, we got some guys that can just run it and rip it. So it'll be good to see.
Nice. Onto the Facebook questions. Dylan Tobia, what does your ideal Team USA candidate personify?
100 out of 100 on that form.
Throws hard, catches well, dodges well. Uh, I think a lot of it is hit well above that base level for physical tools, and then um, commit to being just the best version of you that you can be on the court. If you can do everything more than good, and and then just be like, whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do, and I'm going to do to the absolute best that I can possibly do it. That's my ideal guy.
Beautiful said. Next question is from Bo Tilly. Appreciate all the work.
Sorry, we're just talking about foam and cloth, so I don't know if this question makes any sense.
No Sting King.
Number one ranked.
Pew pew.
Appreciate all the work you guys put in for us players. What do you think the biggest challenge would be for the foam team to repeat and the cloth team to win gold this year?
Getting in the way of ourselves. I think ego. And I only say this as like worst case scenario. I feel really good about all the prospects that like could fill this team. I think dodgeball adjacent distractions is maybe the best way I could put it. Uh, Limiting those would certainly be nice, but no, we've got a really good group. But the fact of the matter is, like, everyone is a high impact player on their own individual team. Um, so that come us with all of that confidence comes a lot of ego. Then that's not a surprise. So I think if there's any indication of how Austria went, we had guys just, be very honest and accountable, and ego was out the door. And I think, we're certainly in that realm again. I feel very confident about it.
A lot of the same. I mean, I want everyone to bring their ego to the squad. There's a reason you're here. It's because you're good at shit. So keep being good at the shit that you're good at, you know. But at the same time, when we do an exercise where we kind of draw a T more or less. It's like, what is going to stop us from being the best possible version of the team that we can be? And everyone gives their answers, and you divide it into things that we can control and things we can't control. We can't control injuries. We can't control, someone said, like, another pandemic. Like, yeah, okay. Well, those are things we can't control, but what can we control? Showing up, being accountable, like Jeremy was talking about, putting your ego aside in the right moments. Like, recognize that you're a great player, but you have to be a great player with everyone else. No one is going to win a world championship on their own. Um, so so bring that energy to be like, I'm great, and I'm even better with everybody else. Um and just I mean, honestly, I guess at this point too, adapting to the rule set that we're going to have to play with, uh and and uh just be willing to go out there on the court and be like, I'll die for you, man. Like, if it makes sense for me to step in front of this throw, I'll try to make a catch. But if I get hit because I think you have a better chance of making this hit, those are the things that, it was such a razor thin margin for us that, we don't have to be that much better, but we can easily get that much worse.
Beautifully said.
Well said.
Thanks. I blacked out. So
Not
Where
scripted.
am I?
Sam Sayward, a couple questions. Jeremy, first off, you're an amazing coach in 2024. It was a pleasure to play on the team with you in leadership.
eh.
First question, what do you think Mixed Foam needs to do differently at this year's Worlds to secure the gold?
Uh, First off, thank you. That means a lot. Um, what does the mixed team need to do? What is really unfortunate is there hasn't been a single day since that match that I haven't thought about it in some form or fashion. Um,
Tell me about it, dude.
so, so you'd think I would have a better answer for this question. But I think the fact of the matter is that, like, it's tough to know how your players are going to perform the first time they step on the court and what is the biggest match that they played up until that point. Um, Especially, like, even just simple things like the fact that it's one court with a giant crowd surrounding it. There's a bunch of just dead space behind players. It throws off your perspective. The lights are a little different because, like, it's just like this is part of it. Um, there's like small nuances that you can't necessarily prepare the players for. I thought, it was to no fault of our vets because we certainly, I think, kind of outlines like what it would be like. But again, it's just tough to know. And so I think, like that saying, like, you don't really know how you have a plan until you get punched in the face. And I think that was certainly, if anything, we were over prepared going into that match. We could have listed, seven things of each individual player on the opposing team that we could attack. But I think in sort of sharpening and trying to be as intricate and comprehensive as we can, we kind of lost sight of, like, the bigger picture of, like, what it takes, like what we actually have to do. So we needed to simplify things a little bit. Honestly, if we ran it back, I think we win 9 out of 10 times. I don't know if that's a hot take, but you know, like, I was more confident going into the mixed gold match than I was going into the men's gold match. So I think we came up short. They certainly played better. You know, we had the worst 40 minutes of the 2 year stretch that we were a team in that one match. So,
I'm gonna
you know,
I'm
you
gonna
never know how you
disagree with you just a little bit there. I think you had the worst 20 minutes of your like
good
the
correction. Yes.
same thing too, saying like, you've got to play until you get punched in the mouth. You guys got punched in the mouth and then punched back really well and really hard.
Yeah.
You just ran out of time more than anything. Like that, the team was great, and it would have been so easy to watch that team just fold, and someone put their foot on the ground and said, "No, this is the line. That's enough," and fought back. And there's a lot of value to that um, as well. The one thing I ask for any team that I coach is, if you there's not a lot of things that you can control during a game, but the one thing you can always control is your effort. And that was absolutely unquestioned from that team. And
I
that's
would
a
like
lot
to
of what you did there. That was your coaching did that.
I appreciate that. I would like to add, yeah, the second half of that match into like one of the most positive like experiences I've had as a coach is kind of watching them figure it out like with your own eyes, like as it's happening. Um, but no, what do you need to do to win gold? The chemistry is there. Uh, the game plan is there. I know Frankie is leaving no stone unturned when it comes to like how he can maximize the talent on the roster. So, you know, I think you should go in with a lot of confidence and what do you got to do? You just got to execute when it matters. Like I said, we picked a rough time to have our worst 20 minutes. It was the first time we were ever behind in the 2 years that we were a squad. So like um, to see them eventually respond, it maybe just took us a game or two too long to figure it out. But um, yeah,
There's a phenomenal podcast I listen to, Finding Mastery, if anyone wants to listen to it. And they did an interview with the fighter pilot. She was like the first female fighter pilot, did a lot of work on like the Top Gun Maverick and stuff like that. And she talks about that people don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on your training and your experience. And sometimes people are just in a new situation and they don't know how to respond to it and they have to figure it out. So yeah, same thing. I think if you took that same matchup an hour later, a day later, it would have been an incredibly different result. I think some of it was just a little bit of, yeah, we didn't expect this punch, and it took us 3 or 4 more games than we needed to respond.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
credit to Canada, they played or they made enough plays to win that match. So yeah.
yeah.
Second question from Sam. What players do you see right now having the highest dodgeball IQ?
Um,
Like at all total, geez.
there are a lot of high dodgeball IQ players. I think what is tough to kind of separate are the players who are just really good at processing information quickly in what they see quickly and making decisions quickly versus like players who just kind of always know what the right move or play or call should be. Two different things. So uh, I would say, I certainly trust um, I certainly trust like Eli. If we're talking men specifically, I trust Eli, I trust Sander. I trust all of our vets really to um, kind of call the game as they see it. So I guess in that sense, I could definitely consider them to have high dodgeball IQs. But I think if there's one individual who just seems to read the game faster than other players, it would definitely just be Eli.
uh, yeah, if I was trying to think of like 3 or 4. Eli, like the way he set up for, I think it is a 2v1 or a 3v1, and he set up for a catch against Malaysia in the gold medal game. Like um, that was like I planned this. I didn't just react to it. I planned out how this was going to go. Um, uh, there's others too. Kate Gong, Katie Sanchez, like both, you know, and this isn't a knock on anyone either. And my answer would probably be different depending on what day you ask me. Um, I always love to see the way that Justin Pye and Eric Jones just chew up a game as well. Like we're so lucky that we've had people that have been playing for a while that, when they come off the court, you can say like, "Hey, what are you seeing out there?" They go, "Hey, the guy in the left, he's pushing up real fast. The guy in the middle, he's taking this weird hitch step before he throws. So as long as everyone knows that, we can set up for a catch or a counter better." Um, uh, but those are just people that I've specifically had conversations with where I'm like, "Oh, you see the game at another level." Not saying that other people don't, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a good. Those are good picks for the women's side. Yeah.
Third question: if you had to choose a 2025 Rookie of the Year that stood out to you, who would it be? Women and men's.
Shit, who are rookies?
Right? Yeah, that's I mean
One that
I
comes
mean
to
I
my
guess
mind. Oh, go ahead.
like Danchenko's like a default, but
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a good pick.
but it's like we also like we didn't steal him, but I mean
He's an
it's
American
like
citizen, sir.
no,
Um,
yeah, no, no, but it's like he's been playing for a while, so it's tough to consider him a rookie even though it's his first time on tour. But I would say just performance wise, I can't really say it's not Danchenko. W- Rookie women, I mean, I guess probably Alexis.
yeah,
Alicia Schultz.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she was who came to mind too. You know, I would love to see a deeper pipeline from college uh to USA Premier. There's clearly, I mean, at least on the quad side, and at the very least on the quad side, we've definitely got one, two, three, four, five alums. That there's the gameplay is definitely different, but being able to just kind of this is how you move on a court, and this okay, now I just need to learn some of the nuances and the rules. Definitely gives people a leg up. So, um, but yeah, those are good picks. It feels like 2025 was like 3 years ago, so it's actually really really hard to figure out.
Um,
Also, Nate Kreider.
uh, would you consider Caitlin DeLeon a rookie? Did she play 2024?
I think she did.
Yeah, I think
She's been around for
yeah,
a second. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Beast for sure. Yeah, I don't think she's a rookie.
Okay.
But again, like time is weird.
Fourth question: why do you want to be a coach? Kind of touched upon that earlier.
To
I
be
don't.
rich, and I fucked up.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I think we both just, well, Brett's still playing, so I won't throw him in the retired category just yet. But
I haven't played since Cleveland last year. So,
yeah.
but I'm hey,
Uh
free agent.
yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Quite the resume, this guy.
Hey,
Um
Outsiders is always picking up new people, so I think I'm all set for there.
Spread the word.
uh yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we touched on it, but like just still like feeling like you have more to give. It's obviously a hobby that is still not financially rewarding, but rewarding in lots of other ways. So
Yeah,
um
we just love it. You fall in love with the game and you just you you can't think that this is it. And you can make more of an impact.
Fifth question: do you think the U.S. should adopt the world rules for foam rather than resetting in particular?
I
yeah.
think we should only play no sting. So
Pinch, no sting.
Gross.
Jeremy has an
Hear me
entire
out.
okay.
No, no, no.
Hang on.
It's
Let's go back to the hot takes. Jeremy, tell me your ideal professional dodgeball ball type.
this is not real, but pinch nosing, you could make the argument is the best combination of all of the ball types. And I think you pull from the NCDA crowd with the violence that they love. You pull from the rubber crowd, right? You get the no sting crowd, obviously. I think it's translatable to foam, maybe not so much cloth. I just think
We'll make it
I
work,
think
dude. Go for it.
if the biggest gripe is that the balls aren't consistently inflated, then you just deflate them all a little bit and allow people to pinch them. And then it's even for everyone. That being said, yes, adopt WDBF real set. Yeah,
There's always going to be some allowances we have to make as far as like venues and stuff like that. And not we really probably can't do 40-minute round robin matches. There's going to be
yeah.
some nuances, but if the decision, which seems to be the overall decision from everyone, is we're going to use the Premier Tour to prep players to be world players as much as possible, then yeah, and I think we're in that realm to be as close to WDBF as possible.
Nice. Last question from Sam. Favorite Thai dish that you're excited to try?
I'm a noodle boy,
Mm,
so
pad Thai?
pad thai,
Mm,
yeah, some drunken noodle,
mm.
yeah.
I am severely allergic to shellfish, so
Ooh,
I am scared of eating in Thailand. Um, but I feel like I'm gonna have some amazing street food while I'm there. I'm a big pad Thai guy. I love pad see ew, some tom kha. The- I miss living in LA specifically because we could walk to a Thai restaurant from my apartment and it was just so good. Um, so
Spoiled.
that was and um yeah, I'll probably
Yeah.
go with some noodles too. And just I will take all the EpiPens and antihistamines that I can.
nice. Next question is from Brian Anderson. A couple questions. First one, do you prefer to build a roster around your best strategy or build a strategy around your best roster?
The
That's
latter.
a super interesting question though.
I think we're fortunate enough to we have the kind of player in the pipeline that allows us to play the way we want to play, the way that I would like to play. So I guess in that sense, it's kind of a wash. But I think in general, you should always be trying to tailor your strategy around the players who that you have. And I think obviously if you're smart enough and you have like if you have a hand in the selection process, then you're able to kind of like find that player in the pool. But yeah, I think in general, you should almost always be adjusting your strategy up around the roster that you have.
See, and I overwhelmingly agree with what you just said. And I think the challenge, like I talked about with coaching, is just trying to get everyone to speak the same language. Like this is what a play call sounds like. This is what our strategy is. Um, but at the same time, if you have a play call that just doesn't make, and we've done this too, if this play call just doesn't make sense for the team that we have, we're like, well, then just don't call it.
Don't call it.
So, again, like games are won by players, and you have to, um, you have to win with the horse you brought. Now, help me out with this phrase.
No, no, no. I think you're doing great. Keep going.
Yeah, basically, you've chosen your team. You have to have the confidence in your team to make those plays, and you're making micro adjustments during Worlds, especially, um, and giving a little bit of advice. But it's not like we're sitting on the sidelines making play calls. So we're trying to prep them to be the best players that they can once they hit the court, um, and yeah, and when it comes down to it too, if someone is throwing a foam ball 85 miles an hour, there is no substitute. There's no play call for that. So, or if someone can throw a cloth ball 75 miles an hour. Like that shit ain't gonna get caught. So yeah, you're just players make the difference. We do what we can, but you put them out there.
Nice.
Kim, can you catch 75 cloth
I don't
to
think I ever.
your dome?
I don't think I've ever seen anyone throw 75. I don't. Does anyone throw 75 in the States? No.
I've got 3 throws left.
I'll definitely
60,
try.
66 was Chaz and Andrew Ketchum had 66.
Chaz gave me problems in like line drills, so 75 would be rough.
I think Chaz got higher once he put Daniel, like he's
Yeah.
put Daniel into the net and then threw at him, and then he got like 3 miles an hour faster. But yeah,
I'm gonna tell a Chaz story too. So I'd met Chaz for like 6 minutes, and then we went into uh NADC training camp in Tempe, whatever 3 years ago or whatever it was, and there we were doing line drills, and Justin Pine was like, "Hey, coach, why don't you step in?" And the drill is, to block, and I didn't know Chaz threw like that, and I just missed the block, and he hit me in the goddamn mouth, and my jaw reset, and my world tipped. And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm good, guys." And I was like, "I think I have a concussion." And um and yeah, that's actually how I met Chaz. Like he hit me literally in the mouth of the ball. And you could see on his face too. He's like, "I'm getting cut." Like and I was like, "Nah, dude, do that every time. Do that if you need to hit someone in the mouth every time you throw, that's a win for us."
you're just giving my players ideas to
Yeah.
put me in on the reasons to put me on the court.
You have glasses. You shouldn't do that.
I
I don't
agree.
wear,
That's an
yeah,
excellent point. Yeah.
yeah. That's an investment.
That is true. Uh, Second question from Brian: which countries are doing new things, drills, tactics, etc., that you want to try out slash steal with Team USA, if any?
I don't honestly know the answer to that. I mean, I think there's I'm jealous of the countries that have more of a like national infrastructure as far as like the like national sports authority and everything is putting resources into dodgeball. But I wouldn't say there's been no conference or meeting or whatever of coaches from different countries coming together and being like, "Hey, this is how you prep a team." So uh, not a lot of stuff trickles down to other countries. As far as I know, maybe it's different with Jeremy, but um, I would absolutely love to sit with the uh, the Steffens and the Maxes and the Ryan Neelys and Brett Koenigs of the world and just be like, how do you guys prep for things? What drills do you do? That would I'd love to just be a fly on the wall and just watch other. Honestly, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and watch Jeremy coach. No, seriously, like I've never watched a USA foam practice because obviously we're doing our own thing on the other side, but that I think we could really pull things from each other, um, and we just don't really get the opportunity to.
Yeah, we're like two ships passing in the night most of the
Yeah.
time. Um, yeah, I think for me, like I have no qualms about stealing anything. So, Malaysian uh whatever their comp league is called, like yeah, it's I've got a playlist on my YouTube that I watch the Aussies, I would say Hong Kong now and Malaysia are the countries that I think I'm usually watching for kind of ideas. I think yeah, and I no shame in taking something that is clearly a really effective play or whatever, just taking it, implementing it. Um, yeah, no gatekeepers here.
Yeah.
Third question: after Thailand, if you could pick any country that hasn't hosted yet, where would you want the next Worlds to be? Japan.
That's actually my answer.
Yeah.
You jerk. It's I would just love to visit Japan. It's on my list of countries I want to visit. Um, Trying to think. Argentina as well. I've never been to South America. Um, and they have great steak and they have great wine. So, but yeah, Japan, or since you took it, then Argentina is my next choice.
I'd be fine with a European country. I think I've always wanted to go to Italy. I know you go
Oh,
every other month or whatever. Um,
L- every 5 years. But yeah,
but I would love for it to be in Italy. I think it'd be a great reason just to go to Italy. But I mean, South Korea would be pretty dope. I think kind of anything in like the East Asian realm would be pretty cool. And I am, you know, I am excited for the day when like African dodgeball gets to host a big tournament. That'd be really cool.
100%. I think South Africa is probably the closest now that they joined WDBF. Just purely from facilities perspective, they have bigger gyms. But Ivory Coast, man, they're doing some cool stuff. Like they're prepping so hard. Uh, and there's some other, African countries as well. So yeah, I would love to see the day that an African country hosts World.
Nice. Couple questions from Dylan Clark Odin.
Nah.
Who?
Dylan Clark Odin. What's been the biggest factor to your team's struggles and successes?
Ego. I think Jeremy was probably going to say probably the really close to the same answer. Any time you end up losing a close game or something like that, you look back and um, it can basically be chalked up to did did someone's ego get in the way of team play? We have so many good players that if we play as a team consistently, we will win almost every game. Um, and I recently watched film of a game that we lost, and I watched a couple of players, and I was like, no, you thought I had to be the guy that made the play, and whatever, but uh, that that's always going to be uh, the biggest hurdle to overcome for anybody. Um, I've never seen, I have literally never seen someone being like, "Oh, I was being too good of a teammate, and that's how we lost the game." So ego is probably always going to be an issue, especially when we're playing a sport um, where your individual interaction with someone else is I don't know, profitable, I guess. If you get someone out, like that's a win. And so you're just like, I have to be the guy that makes that play. And um, yeah, so ego is probably one of the biggest hurdles to constantly overcome.
Yeah, I think like it kind of in that same vein, like um, watching teams, as I kind of alluded to, like watching them like figure it out. There's only so many kills to go around. There's only like so much time in the match. Like there's only so
So,
much you can do.
so many
Um,
balls to hold. Yeah.
exactly. And so who ends up kind of being more effective and efficient with their turn is always going to be advantageous. But yeah, like anytime there's always going to be some bravado. Like we have a team full of very confident men. Like if you've ever been around a group of very confident men, uh, it can be difficult to wrangle because, well, they're confident men. So,
Oh, and
um,
every guy is like, give me the ball. And it's like, well, we don't have six balls all the time.
and it's not even a question about like can you do it? Because I bet you all could do it. Um, but it's like what is best for the team in any given moment is how all this kind of gets framed, reframed back. And so uh, I think I think of players like Jeff Giovinco, who like on shred and on any normal team is going to be he's going to have a ball, he's going to be in the corner, and he's going to be someone who's going to drive a lot of your offense. And then on our team, he was like off ball extraordinaire. Like his specialty was like rushing, working on and maybe receiving pitch, but like working on the rush and then playing
Yeah,
off ball like to
yeah.
perfection. And I think if you had to pick like an MVP of like the gold medal match, you could very easily say it was Jeff. And so when I think of people who talk about how can I make an impact when I'm not someone who like holds the ball all the time in the corner, I point to people like Jeff and how he plays. Um, if you really want to find a way to impact a game, I guarantee you can figure it out, but it requires a certain level of effort and awareness. And I think maybe often that's kind of like the barrier between any normal rec player and then taking that next step is kind of understanding that. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like there was in my fantastic rec dodgeball days too, there to just make it relatable to people who are like trying to uh elevate. Um, we're like down by 2 games and there's 2.5 minutes left in this match. I'm like, we got to go throw. And people don't understand. Like, no, let's slow down. I was like, no, there's 2.5 minutes and we're down by 2 games. And, at the time too, there was like, it was 20v20. I was like, we have to get someone out like every 3 seconds if we're even going to have a chance of winning these 2 games just to get us to a tie. And yeah, just people understanding um like situations and then being able to set aside, hey, we have to get 20 people out this game. You throw a lot harder than I do. You can have the ball, as opposed to, no, I'm the corner and I'm gonna pump fake the whole time. Is it no, that's not what we need right now. And it's it's really eye-opening to see people play in situational dodgeball where they just don't get like, I might be the best player 90% of the time, but that's not what we need right now. And um, that's the setting aside your ego into how do we win this game.
Beautifully said. Second part of Dylan's question: what do you try to replicate for your future teams you coach?
Every team's got their own personality, man. Uh, and I said this just a few minutes ago, but the one thing that I ask for all the time is like there's only so many things that we can control in a game, and if there's one thing you can control, it's your effort. So give me your effort. You bring your ego. You're a great player. This is what made you a great player, but give me your effort because on any given play, any given game, any given situation, if you give me everything you can in that situation, then if everybody does that, defining success as just being the best team that we can be, that's what we're going to get.
you know, um, I think like strategically, you could say that like one strategy we adopted was like not getting comfortable playing out of two ball defense, which we were just getting into way too often. Making that pivot, playing a little more defensive minded, and then trying to be more counter heavy on the attack, I think was the strategy that I think is the most prominent nowadays. So I think from that perspective, that's something that you'd like to continue until there's a new meta. But in terms of like um, soft skills, I would say, like you can't, I don't know, you can't teach like getting along or like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being a
Yeah.
good person. Like there's a level of expectation that we all need to have going into this. We all like there's commitment, but we all can't expect each other to give the same like level of commitment because we all just have different amounts of time to operate with. So like you have to meet people halfway in that regards. And as long as you're making efforts to get better and improve, and it's the chat can see it, right? Like the gym videos, yeah, they're like insignificant maybe, but
Because that
when
builds
the
trust. It build
when the
it,
last yeah,
yeah.
when
Yeah.
the last guy in the squad is seeing the number one guy in the squad in the gym every other day, that says something.
Well, because it comes down to you don't know in a crucial moment, because of health and injuries and whatever. You don't know who the guys are going to be next to you on the court. Like you know, these are our 12 guys, and you're like, okay, so in that moment, in that crucial moment, if I'm with a guy that now I'm looking across, I'm like, he hasn't put in the effort. He hasn't done the work. So can I trust him? And over the course of the entire process being like, oh, you know what? I don't Jeremy and I like we don't have kids. So we know that we have some more hours in the day that we can put in because I don't have sick kids that are getting me to getting a cold so I can do a podcast while I'm blowing my nose. But just knowing I am giving you everything that I can. So then when you get on the court and you're like, this is a crucial moment. Yeah, he's everything that he possibly could into this moment. Yeah, I'll give him a ball too. Like I'm not going to keep two balls. He's going to have a ball, and you know what? We're going to win this fucking moment because I know that over the last 2 years he's been on the practice squad. He's participated in the chats. He's posted videos of the workouts. Everything that he's done, we know I know that his brain and my brain, there is nothing that's going to be put between us that we haven't already tried to overcome by putting the pain and the effort into it. Um, sorry, I hijacked your conversation, but I got into it.
No, it's a great point. I think the only thing, and I just to kind of put a bow on it, I think in scouting, there's a lot of people who claim to be good teammates. Um, and I think too often being a good teammate gets simplified down to being a good vibe, um, being
Yeah,
funny, when in reality, if the team can't like trust you to be on the court and do your job, then it doesn't matter how vibey of a guy you aren't a good teammate.
yeah.
And I think like you build like you're saying, Brett, like you build trust on the court. And if I can look to the guy next to me and I trust that he's going to do his job, like that's where it starts with being a good teammate.
My coaching journey actually started at it was Sin City, and I honestly couldn't tell you how many years ago this was at this point. And we were playing a team, and um I had a phenomenal player, and um, I stepped in front of a throw, and I was like, hey, if I catch this, this is gonna be cool. And I didn't. I got completely like I think my chest actually concaved. Um, and then but my guy was safe, and he went and he hit, and we ended up winning the match, and we ended up winning the tournament. And it was actually Justin Pyatt, and he was like, hey man, that was a smart play. And from then on, I'm like, you know what? I made a smart play. And that kind of like that's the kind of stuff that builds. Like, hey, someone that I respected, and Jess and I weren't even really friends at that point. And it was like, hey, someone I respect. He knows what dodgeball is, and those are the kinds of the moments that you can build on the trust with your teammates. Like, I am willing to sacrifice my glory so that the team can win. Um, are just huge moments that add up over time. Thanks for nodding your head. No one's gonna see that you did that, but I appreciate that you agree with me.
So that
Agreed.
yeah, that.
if you're
The
watching on
visual
YouTube.
audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Megan Pine asks, "What dish are you most excited to eat in Thailand?"
Noodles.
Noodles.
Second.
Dylan Cruz, Alfred and Brett versus Frankie and Jeremy in a 2v2 best of seven in foam. Who wins?
I think someone said Jeremy and Frankie four, like in four, and that was insanely disrespectful.
It was both.
Like, not even getting a game. Alfred's good at dodgeball. Me, whatever, but like Alfred's
Yeah.
good at this shit. Like,
This is more of a shade on Alfred than it is on you,
yeah,
is what
like,
you're saying. Yeah.
it's fine. I get it, but come on, guys.
So we'll
I'm
get that.
depending on Frankie's dad strength to carry us in this one. I have this innate fear of tearing Achilles,
Mm.
so I'll just
That's your
be
fear now?
I don't know. I feel like
I
I haven't
I do
physically
not
exerted.
move fast
Yeah,
enough. Like if I tore an Achilles at this point, it would be essentially the same amount of effort that I put into walking the dog. So like the fear of tearing an Achilles is not there for me. Just because there's like rush him down and be like no. Like
yeah. Uh, no, wrong call.
yeah.
Bad calls.
Did you
Yeah.
walk him down? Yeah, but he's walking back at the same speed. Like we're actually fine here.
So what you're
Uh,
saying is we're gonna add this to the fundraiser of the cloth versus foam guys.
Oh my God.
I think
You,
Bo has it, but I don't want to
you know
press the
what?
issue too much.
I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. We're gonna go Decker and Quan versus
Mm,
Jeremy and Frankie, and that feels better on the cloth side.
Frankie and Kelly. Yeah.
Oh shit,
Ricky and Kelly.
that changed things.
Do we just go cloth versus cloth coaches versus foe?
Ooh, all of them.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it'd be me, Decker, Quan, Brandon, and
Tasha.
Tasha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a numbers advantage at the moment, but I mean,
I love
might
the
work for
advantage.
us.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I can't wait to just sit in the background and let them do the work.
We gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
And then the last question is from Nicholas Factorin. When is the Kauble LaPeer Dodgeball Academy set to open?
I cannot tell you how much that would be just an amazing. Like I said, I've known Jeremy now for more than a few years. Um, I think I've known Jeremy longer than Logan's been alive, so that's cool. Uh, I would just absolutely love to just if that could be a full-time job, like me and Jeremy coaching kids on like how to be dodgeball players. Like and I know it's a tongue-in-cheek question, but that would be an absolute dream come true.
Write the check, Nick, and I'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely 100% done. I will move back to LA, put it in Garden Grove, and we're in.
Beautiful.
We need more Dodgeball Academy.
Mhm. Thank you to everyone that sent in questions for the crowdsource. Anything else you guys want to say before we call it?
Yeah, I actually thought at a point, I was like, we're gonna be like an hour and a half. I think this is gonna be a fairly short podcast. I think we're gonna crush this.
And then it kept going.
Yeah,
Almost.
Almost.
yeah.
No, I appreciate the conversation and yeah, I think as unserious as like we like to be a lot of the time, it's to kind of balance out everything else. But no, it is a labor of love and players like yourself, Kim, I think, you guys are the reason why we're still sticking around. So, um,
100%. Yeah.
anyone who tells you your podcast is too long can, well, I won't say it.
Yeah.
They
Well,
can
no.
start their own podcast.
Mm.
a- And in reality, like there were so many people that are trying out for Team USA for this cycle, and even that have newly signed up for the next, two tournaments. Um, even if you don't get chosen, just uh just try to like we've talked about, try to really fall in love with the process of just being the best version of you that you can be on the court. And that should be a self-fulfilling goal in itself. Uh, and thank you to everyone that puts in an application and tries to be better and tries to make the team better in the squad and whatnot because um, we've talked about many times that the floor keeps raising, and that is what is keeping us competitive at a world's level, and all the support and the love and everything from the entire community is just phenomenal, and I appreciate every single one of you that puts in the time and effort to do it. And I know Jeremy does too, because like I said, we had a 3 hour scouting conversation last night. You guys are amazing, and it keeps us going.
So, well, thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you guys for being coaches and putting in the time and effort for ungrateful people. Truly appreciate it.
Thank God they're few and far between. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the community keeps us going.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thanks.